Hey everyone, what's up? As you're all seeing, the hate's starting to drum back up for Terrence Crawford. People are coming out of the woodwork, and it's been little jabs here and there. Canelo saying the same thing that Spence and everybody else was saying, that he hasn't fought no one. Jermell Charlo being Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo, that's a whole nother matter in itself. We always knew he was shook. So, I mean, there's nothing new there. That should surprise anyone when it comes to that. But Ugas even decided to have the nerve to come out today. And these guys are still trying to push the Jared in his boots on a Terrence Crawford. Years ago, I came out with a video and I emailed PBC back in the day. And of all people who answered my email, it was Tim Smith. And you all know who Tim Smith is. And we had a back and forth going on for about a year. And the same thing that I told you people was the same thing I was telling Tim Smith back in the day. Like, what you're doing, it works on, the easily fooled, but people on this channel, like this channel, for example, it's pretty see-through what they're doing, how they're blackballing Terrence Crawford and things like that. And even years ago, he was telling me that they want him to fight Jared in his boots. So without a doubt, I know this is still them trying to pull their little politics and, and things like that. You screwed up when you guys allowed him to fight Sean Porter, you know what I'm saying? But you also screwed up when you made Crawford a bigger deal than what he was. You should have fought him back in the past, and you could have been making money this whole time, but you guys were trying to get little milk money. But it's no different today than it was back then. They are putting their faith in Jared in his boots. And I'm telling you, in his boots, he does some pretty bad mistakes in that ring. He don't have the chin. You understand that people think he has. He is highly skilled and highly talented, especially for a kid his age. But, your matchmaking and everything else, I'm telling you, it's the same effect that it's been on the majority of PBC fighters. You're going to stunt a fighter's growth when you don't put them in with real risk. That's the crazy part about growing a fighter, You can't simulate true battle without throwing them in real actual battles where they're actually going to have to deal with risk. If you coddle your fighters and things like that, we've said this so many times, it's going to stunt that fighter's growth, and they're not going to be able to handle real fights. You understand? We've been talking about Canelo. Canelo's another prime example. You put Canelo on an even playing field, he always gets exposed, whether it's controversy, corruption and things like that. That's why he has to rely on that type of stuff, and he usually gets caught up in cherry picks gone wrong. It's no different for guys like Deontay Wilder. It's no different. It's not going to be different for guys like Tank. It was no different for, what's his name, Adrian Broner. The only guy who walked it and talked it was Floyd Mayweather. And again, he wasn't brought up in the PBC system. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he got his most money when he started working with Al, but at the same token, you also got to understand he wasn't using the Al Heyman model. Al Heyman's in-house model, it's a very debilitating process on his fighters. And you see that a bunch of those guys are clowns. They do a lot of dumb stuff outside the ring, and this is consistent. It's a consistent pattern. The minute these guys face true opposition, when they're thrown into a real battle, they tend to fall short. You look at the top rank versus PBC record alone, it's pretty one-sided. And it still surprises me that people are still surprised at what Terrence Crawford did to Errol Spence. Despite all the evidence and everything that we have, this is a digital age. Evidence is right there in front of you guys. This is a faith-based channel, but at the same token, you know what I'm saying? I don't use our Lord as a MacGuffin to come to conclusions when we break down fights and things like that. This is a very fact-based, research-based channel as well when it comes to the sport of boxing. And I do have a far left topic that I'm going to bring up concerning Bomac at the end of this video. But Ugas again, he got a couple of paychecks, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, he had a little bit of treatment from Al Heyman, and he drank the Kool-Aid too. The guy that I saw fight Errol Spence was baffling, to say the least. He didn't look like he was in there trying to win. He looked like he was a guy who was trying to be part of the script, you know what I'm saying, and follow direction. And, you know, you all seen the same thing I've seen. That was a very peculiar performance from Ugas. You went from fighting your heart out against Manny Pacquiao with an injured bicep to that performance that you put up against Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? It made a lot of us raise our eyebrows. I'm not necessarily accusing Ugas of anything, but again, Manny Pacquiao, you're over here fighting your heart out. Errol Spence, again, it looks like you got a silent agreement, you know, with the script, if you guys know what I'm saying. And we've seen fighters like Malik Scott, you know, assist Deontay Wilder and things like that. It doesn't surprise me with PBC. It's a very fake company. And on this channel, we don't have a problem calling out fake stuff. But Crawford is back into the same position that he's been in for years, even after he's made everybody look stupid and eat their own words. But he's been doing this throughout his career. So once again, you know, same old stuff, just a different day, but nothing's changed, you know. We mentioned in our last video that they're still trying to play a little bit of politics. They were doing it before the Spence fight. It's weird how Al Heyman can have fighters like Keith Thurman still retain their belts while being out of the sport for years, but you always got to pay attention to the timing. And it's no coincidence that they stripped Jermell Charlo before even the Spence fight. I saw that as a move of them trying to limit Terrence Crawford. So he's still battling, you know, people trying to, you know, stall his career and things like that, although he's at the end of it. And he's about to get another payday if Errol Spence does fall through with this rematch with Terrence Crawford. But the hate's already back in full effect, and the narrative pushing and the suggestive selling. And these guys, they always worked in tandem with each other. They all said that they didn't care about the WBO. Keith Thurman even went as far as saying the WB no. Even Sean Porter said he doesn't care about the WBO belt. They were all programmed not to say Crawford's name and things like that, as they went as far as not even showing Crawford on a teleprompter as being a champion in the welterweight division. This stuff, again, is no coincidence to me, unfortunately. It's the same old games. It's the same old politics. It's the same PR stunts, you understand? And that's what Al Heyman's good at creating, are a bunch of PR fighters. He don't know how to make the real deal, you know what I'm saying? But we're back at square one again, essentially. And Ugas is doing his role in the script as well right now, which I find laughable. Again, I saw certain fighters like Delorme knock down Ugas, so you can't put much stock into what he's saying. But here we are, once again, square one again. Now, about this Bomac situation, like I said, we try to be rational when we do breakdowns and things like that, but at the same token, this is a faith-based channel. And there was a peculiar situation with Bomac that I thought was something he shouldn't have done, and this was during the victory parade in Omaha, Nebraska. He said something, well, this is what he basically said on the podium in front of, you know, the whole city, essentially, in the world. He said he called his son his rock, you know what I'm saying? And when I saw that, it just stuck out to me. I'm like, uh-oh, you definitely made a mistake there, Bomac. If you are a Christian, you understand there is but one rock, and that was just very weird, peculiar wording for a guy like Bomac to say. So this situation with the gun thing and him being arrested and things like that, it's once again no coincidence to me, and I think that's where he made his mistake. Oftentimes you know, during your greatest accomplishments, that's when you're most susceptible to attacks. And again, the timing and everything else is the craziest part about it. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't hit me with any coincidence or out of the norm. This is just how the enemy operates and works. And Bomac, it wouldn't hurt, man. I would pray and ask for forgiveness because, again, there's only one rock, and we all know who that is. That's Jesus Christ. If you read scripture, you understand it and you get it. This part of the video is going to confuse a lot of you, and I understand why. It's hard to understand, but no one said anything about that, and I didn't want to bring it up, but again, I still don't know the details or what's behind it. If he did just happen to bring a gun and they didn't catch him bringing it in, but they caught him going out of the country, all that stuff's weird, peculiar. But the timing of this and what happened, again, it's not coincidence, man. It's really not. I'm telling you, that's how the enemy operates. And if he has any legal ground, he'll strike. You know what I'm saying? And you have to be wary, especially after such a high and an accomplishment on what they did to Errol Spence. So again, Bomac, prayers will be going out to you, but you're going to need to pray yourself, man. And you're going to need to ask for forgiveness. The Lord is not mocked, and you do reap what you sow, man. And I say that as a Christian. I'm not saying that to talk crap to you, man. We will talk to you guys later. Like I said, we definitely went left field and went weird here at the end of this video, but we do call out how we see it, man. We will talk to you guys later, all right? Bye.